What's going on, guys? Raven here, and I am back for the third installment of our Colombia campaign. First off, you're gonna notice the music should be better. My microphone should be a little bit better. You shouldn't be able to hear me breathe. I had the microphone set up in a way that it was, the mic was right in front of my mouth, so if I breathed even a little bit, you would be able to hear it, and it's not really a fun thing to hear. So if you're still sticking with me, I appreciate it a lot. I'm trying to get better, and for me, it's sort of, I'm not really a technical type guy. I don't really know the mechanics and the technical side of uh, what goes on in recording and editing and whatnot. So this is really a learning process. And also, I did get a new headset, and it's very weird the way it works. Like, there's a little, like, I don't know what you call it. I'm looking down at it right now. It's like on the cord you can adjust the sound of my microphone and the headset, and so it's all very weird because normally I would with all the other headsets I had, I would just edit the sound volume with the volume mixer, of course, but with this it's just a bit weird. It's hard to explain. Nobody really cares. But anyway, so last time we left off, we used the Empire of Brazil to beat the Venezuelans and Ecuadorians. Oh yes. So we puppeted both of them, and in the process, we actually are doing pretty terribly, honestly. I have had better campaigns as Colombia. I tried another campaign just to see how it would go in Latin America, just sort of waiting around, letting immigrants come, and we are definitely not getting that many immigrants, so I'm a little disappointed in that because all of these other nations are stealing. They're just taking all of our immigrants. Jeez, man, like we need some pops, okay? Now, I'm okay with Venezuela and Ecuador taking them because eventually we're going to get those pops, but it would be nice to get some more immigrants coming into our nation. So let's get back in. Also, did I mention the dates? Well, if I didn't, the dates, the reason why this is a farther in the game is because I accidentally left it playing for a little bit after I ended the recording, but nothing happened. I think an election was held, and we researched medicine, so now we're going to be moving on to our next tech. And I don't want to research army yet. I really don't want to do that because we're not making enough money right now. And our pops are not wealthy enough to do anything, really. They just don't have enough money. But at the same time, mm, see, I was looking, uh, I don't know, we basically only have one tech, right? Because in the 1850s, we unlock inorganic chemistry, as well as Darwinism, but we can't get that because we need biologism. That unlocks Darwinism, which, if you see down there, it gives you 50% more education efficiency, which is very, very nice, but we're very far away from that. So, see, normally I go for this because I play a really slow game, but I think for YouTube, we're going to want to do a lot of wars and whatnot and show the world that Colombia is strong. So, we're probably going to want education efficiency. That's going to help us get more pops. But I think ideological thought would be better because we get more plurality, which increases our research points. As you can see, there's a plurality bonus right there, which applies to our base research points. So there's a lot of plurality to gain here, and I feel like this would be the better option. Though, I mean, there's probably some math you could do. And plus, we're going to need nationalism and imperialism to form Gran Colombia, but obviously we can't actually do that unless we have 50 prestige, so we're going to need some of these techs, but we might get some from empiricism. I'm thinking way too into this. Let's just go with ideological thought. It's such a hard word to say for some reason. Ah, we do need some education. And we could potentially get two techs here. And we can't even have two focus points because in this mod it's much harder to get focus points. You need like 500,000 of an accepted culture, I think. So Yeah, we're gonna get education efficiency. We need more educated pops. We're very uneducated right now. Soon, soon that will change. Don't worry. Norway goes bankrupt immediately. Once again, the Victoria 2 economy sort of resets itself. The whole game kind of resets itself when you start it up again. So it sort of has to remember how to function. It's like you're playing a whole new game, I guess. Like starting a whole new game. It's just at a different start date than 1836. Also, the 1861 start date, if you remember, is not available in this mod. I'm pretty sure it's because the mod creator didn't want to. It would be pretty agonizing to make two start dates historically accurate, especially with all the information. They didn't have the internet, obviously. The records were pretty hard to come by. And in some countries that are less industrialized, in Africa and some Asian countries, records are still hard to come by. Even some Arabic countries, even in Western countries, records are hard to come by. So, you know, it's hard to model what the population would be of certain areas because censuses, censi, the plural of census, whatever that word is, census. Um, they weren't really utilized at this time. I think China actually took some pretty good records during the Han Dynasty, which is pretty incredible. The Chinese state. Just learning about China is really fascinating to me. One thing that I always find a bit weird though is how it seems like most of the people identify as Han Chinese, that being their race or ethnicity or something. I get race and ethnicity mixed up. I don't really know the difference between the two, but it's very weird to think about a population of 1.3 billion people all identifying, well, not all, but 90% of them identifying as the same ethnicity. It's pretty incredible. But obviously, the Chinese government is not really one to trust um, too heavily. But yeah, so we get more pop growth. That's nice. Obviously, though, we really need immigrants. We're not getting any. Venezuela, though, okay. See, I'm okay with this because we're going to get these pops later on. Hopefully, as long as we don't lose the puppet status. We actually don't have a military right now. So, hmm, you know, I think I'm gonna go up on military spending. We need more military. And I'm gonna lower the taxes on the lower class right now to, yeah, 64%. Well, let's go to 50%. It's gotta be even, of course. Otherwise, it'll just annoy me. But we could spend our Diplo points as well. But what should we spend them on? I mean, I really don't know. America, that couldn't hurt. Um, these states, we might want to improve relations with them a bit because if we become a great power, which hopefully we do become a great power, we're going to want to sphere them. And we could also potentially form the FRCA because I believe you're able to do that if you have all of these nations in your sphere of influence. So yeah, we're just kind of chipping away at time. Okay, thankfully this is going to be done in 1849. I think I will go for inorganic chemistry because we also get another population growth event. Very exciting, as you can hear from the music. We get another one that gives 0.02% pop growth. Oh, a little thing I should mention in case people don't know about this aspect of Victoria 2. Population growth, the base population growth. So most, well, not most, I don't really know the exact number, but a lot of, uh, I'm guessing most actually, most states have a life rating of 35. And if you have a life rating of 35, you get a pop growth bonus of 0.05. And I believe at 30 life rating, you have a 0% growth bonus. If I can find a province that we own. Oh no, you have a point zero 0.02. No, that's 32. Yeah, yeah, zero. Zero bonus from province life rating. So you have to get like 31 life rating to get any base growth. Um, and the max amount of growth you can get for a province is at 40 life rating. And 40 life rating, you can't see it, but it gives you 0.09, yeah, 0.09% growth, and all of Germany has that amount of growth because I'm guessing Germany just they were making a lot of babies over there, apparently. Very interesting. I don't know where to research to find like why France's population, like if you look, there's obviously a reason why they would make some of these provinces have 30 life rating, 32 life rating and whatnot. But I don't know. I mean, just very interesting. So if you're wondering why some provinces have 50 life rating, well, life rating also impacts how likely people are to emigrate, and migrate to that province. Basically, it factors into it's how much they like the province, right? People are more willing to go to a 45 life rating province than a 40 life rating province, but there are also probably a lot of other factors. I don't know the exact factors, but life rating is the most obvious one to me. Um, Other interesting things while we're just sitting here waiting around, Russia, I don't see Russia win like anything. They don't win at anything. They start out at number two in the ranking. Right now, they're still number three. Pretty impressive, but they always fall behind in military tech. And once you fall behind even a little bit, Germany just stomps everything because all of their people are very literate and they're already at 9 out of 30 military tech. I mean, they would just stomp Russia right now. There would be no contest. These military techs, I feel like, are weighted a lot more than they should be. I don't know. I mean, Russia, like, it's just weird to me because they just get dominated in every war, and even in the late game, when they catch up and get 30 tech, by then it's too late because Germany is just a powerhouse. I don't like how Germany always becomes strong. And actually, um, there's only been one time, and this is me being honest, in historical project mod. I've seen it happen in the base game, I remember, but in historical project mod, I've only seen Germany not form once. They always form. I mean, obviously, it's going to be pretty railroaded for them to form, but I mean, there's just no like counter to them. They don't. The United Kingdom, the AI is just so bad, right? Everybody knows the United Kingdom AI if you've played Victoria 2. I mean, half the time they just leave their entire army in Ireland. I don't really know what the logic behind that is. I'm really curious because it's not like this is a super high population area. I mean, it's relatively high, but it's not insane. So I don't know why the AI rates this area as like this is where we gotta go. We gotta protect all the Irish people. I guess it's because they feel guilty about all the terrible stuff they've done to Ireland. I don't know. Spain, Portugal, they never really become contenders for. I mean, they were sort of falling out of power after like the 17th century though, right? Maybe even the 16th. Well, I don't know. Would it be like after the Spanish Armada was sunk? That's also like a very interesting thing to me, like why the Spanish? Um, I mean, they could have been like, they could have had the currency like the United Kingdom. We could be using what do the Spanish use? Pesos? That's like South American countries. I don't know. We could be using the Spanish dollar as our currency in this game, but no. I mean, they lost their empire. They lost their impact on the world, sort of in a way. Although, obviously, I mean, if you look at South America, literally, it is the second most spoken language in the world after Chinese, I think, and then English is third. So, I mean, that's still pretty impressive. Very impressive, of course, of course. So I said I was gonna go for inorganic chemistry, and yeah, I'm still gonna do it. We need more supply limit. We also need troops to actually utilize this extra supply limit we're getting. We're not getting any troops right now. I'm gonna want to encourage some soldiers in in a few years probably. I want to get my intellectuals up because I think in the base game, I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure in the base game, once you get to 2% intellectuals, you can't get any more education efficiency bonus. You know, the change in literacy. You can't get any more bonus to that. But in historical project mod, you can. Once again, though, I don't actually know. But I'm pretty sure that there's no extra bonus after getting 2% intellectuals in a province. But in this mod, if you get to 4%, I think it could go on forever. But if you get to 4%, then the bonus to literacy rate change is uh, is significant. So if you have an undereducated area, you might want to consider just continuing encouraging intellectuals so that you can get your population educated relatively quickly. As you can see, though, we're in the year 1850 and we're still lagging behind. We're also not getting hardly any immigrants. Brazil, I mean, normally, I don't think this is very historically accurate, but normally in my games I see Brazil not get any immigrants. They probably click an event that gives them 50% bonus and then they get immigrants that way, but they always seem to stay gray. And, I'm guessing that's because they don't have any. Oh, Costa Rica, you want to ally me? Hmm, interesting. They're in the sphere of the USA. God, I hate the USA. Oh, we should try to get an alliance with the British and try to fight the USA. That would be awesome. Hopefully the USA isn't getting that many immigrants and their population stays relatively low. That's one thing. The population model in this game doesn't really work that well in terms of historical accuracy. It sort of falls flat because if you compare I did a Romania game, right? And I basically got this chunk of Romania, and I had that by the 1900s, this area that I'm circling with my mouse cursor. And I looked at a historical map of Romania, or historical graph, sorry, of what the population might have been. And basically Romania's population was higher in the graph than in my campaign. And in that campaign I actually save scummed because normally you get a lot of bad events that ruin your population, and I just save scum to not have those events actually affect it, and just sort of go on the path of, oh, this is what would happen if Romania's population didn't have any terrible cholera or whatever. But unfortunately, I don't know, it just seems to be modeled very weirdly. I also wish that populations, in this mod, also once again don't know if it's in the base game, but people do like to go to the capital, which I like. I like the fact that they're more willing to move to the capital than other provinces. So your capital, if you're a European nation, tends to become the biggest, assuming you don't have other good life rating provinces or already just insanely high population provinces in your country. Your capital gets a lot of immigrants or migrants, whatever you want to call it. So I like that aspect, but I wish people were more willing to like go to cities, right? Not just the capital, but move away from like rural areas. I guess it doesn't really show cities. Um, well, I don't really mean that either, though. What I mean is like people. It seems like when they immigrate, if you're playing the USA, like a lot of people go to the Midwestern states. You know, here, Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas, and Montana and whatnot. And this area seems to be relatively, what's the word, homogenous in terms of population, even though in reality it's not. And California should have been getting a lot more people, but even with the 40 life rating that this mod gives, they don't get a lot of population. It's very odd to me. Man seen voting. Voting? Is that a V? That's such an odd V. Boating? Roading? What the hell? What is that? Is that really a V? Or is that a D? Doting? As John Q. Public walks up to the ballot box, he knows instinctively that he is being watched by the official presiding the vote, by the man watching him put his ballot in the box, by a government agent in a bar behind a cut-hole newspaper. Somehow, somewhere, someone is watching him and feeding the government information about his political opinions and voting preferences. John's secret fear is that someone on some dark night will come knocking on his door to have a little chat about loyalties and disloyalties. John Q. Public would very much prefer it if he could give his vote in secret. Just because you're paranoid, they're after me. That's um. So we get where's this province? Wait, what? Is it a state? Oh, it is. Okay, so this whole state right here, very low population, becomes more in favor of secret ballots. I'm okay with that because we want to pass reforms so that people are going to be more willing to join our nation. Um, I probably should have looked up, what affects people immigrating because I don't know, maybe there's something different I could have done to get more immigrants, although it does seem to be sort of luck because you have to rely, like Argentina, they don't really form this early, at least in the campaigns I've done. Uruguay, whatever you want to say, Guatemala, like these guys are getting a decent chunk of immigrants, which I don't really like. They gotta cut that out. Let's keep improving relations with the Brits because it would be nice to use, they leave a lot of people in Canada, so we could use them to beat the Americans. We could also like potentially go to war, like annex Costa Rica, and the USA is going to get involved because they're allied in their sphere, but we could get the British to help out. That's frightening. Maybe I should forego that plan. Okay. But yeah, I mean we could just use the British, fight all these troops up here, because the AI probably wouldn't be able to go through Mexico and the well, actually, see, if they join though, I think they would become the war leader, and then they could oh God, if they become the war leader, then they call in like all of these states. And that would actually be very, very hard to combat. Let's get more immigrants, intellectuals. Well, I would like more immigrants. But we need more intellectuals. Like, spread out, I think. Sort of. Just in the high pop areas. Cauca. Yeah, we don't have many people in these states like Panama and Guaviare. Guiva. Guaviare? Guaviare. That word is so hard to say. San Jose del Guaviare. Guava. I'm not getting many soldiers still. Education, we're going to keep up to 100% for forever, basically. Administration, as you can see, though, is getting up there. We're getting a lot of education efficiency, sort of. Not really. Not a lot. An okay amount, I suppose. Oh, what's going on over here? Nicaragua is at war. What's going on? Mexico. Oh, again. Again with the Mexican War. What are they gonna? They're probably gonna take some random state, like right here. They always take Nueve. Or what state do they take? Is it this one? Nuevo Leon, Chihuahua. I think it's Chihuahua they normally take, and it looks really disgusting. The borders. Ugh. Once again, we're gonna go with functionalism. We're gonna get up to biologism, and then we're gonna go for political thought. Costa Rica, again with the begging. God, they're so needy. No. However, Costa Rica, we don't want to lose relations entirely, so we will improve them a little bit. Just with everyone really, because we want to steal all of these people from the USA's sphere of influence and create the FRCA down here. Okay, so Austria-Hungary formed. Seems a bit early. Seems a little bit early. But they did form. I think I haven't played Austria. It's the other nation I haven't played. Also France. I don't really play big nations. I have played Germany though, just because it's so fun to play something very easy. So let's see. Austria-Hungary. They are allied to... Ooh... No great power. But I think this is the Brothers' War. Yep. North Germany is winning. They probably won every battle pretty much. And I'm guessing that's because, yeah, Austria-Hungary's military tech is far behind because the North German Federation is OP. Well, Germany's just OP. Too easy. That's why we're playing Colombia. Look at our 3-man army. Literally just 3 men. That's our entire army. Take some generals just because we can. Give me something good. 3 attack, 4 defense. Ooh. That is really good. I like that, okay. Factory throughput, yeah. There we go, that's what we need. We got a lot of factories going here. As you can see. Look at all those factories. Look at all these immigrants coming in, though. For real? We're getting so many immigrants, too. That's why our population is just skyrocketing. God, I wish... What did we do wrong? Look at Venezuela. Look at all their immigrants. They're getting so many. Brazil, why are you getting immigrants? What about us? USA. Ugh. Ugh. Come on, man. Join the Colombian hype train. Oh, we got... Oh, wow, look at that. 3 immigrants this month? Oh, there we go. Well. 2. Is it each month or each week? I don't even know. Looks like each month. We got 57 immigrants. No, it actually looks like every 2 weeks? I don't know. Once again, Colombian schools assimilation efforts in Afro-Latino areas and territories are progressing slower than they should. Reasonably have to, and one of the reasons is that Afro-Latino children are still educated in their native tongue. Oh my god, these goddamn Spanish. Ah, making me so angry, man. Like, really? Come on, stop teaching them Spanish and teach them some actual Spanish. Jeez. Well, wow, that bode well with the immigrants, it looks like. No, maybe not. We're just gonna get 50 forever. Look at Brazil, Brazil! Why are they getting so many? Come on, man. Yeah, also another thing, you don't really see people emigrate in these South American, North American, Australian regions. Well, oh, Australia hasn't formed yet. I thought Australia was emigrating to the USA. But you don't see them emigrate between countries, aside from the few times you do, because you sometimes you see like two people leave the USA and go to Canada, or two people leave Australia and go to the USA, but really don't see it that often. I don't know what the mod creator did to immigration, but that's a bit odd to me that there's no immigration between like Mexico and the USA, um, and whatnot. So yeah, we're just gonna say let the chips fall where they may. We don't care where they fall as long as they fall in the place we want them. But well, I said we don't care, and we do care, but we also don't care. So, Guatemala, I need you to like me, just in case we want to sphere you, because if you have a higher opinion of us, then that will make you more likely to be susceptible to our sphering efforts. Oh yeah, here's another thing. So the Galapagos, that's a good example of what I was talking about with immigrants. So if you're getting like 1,000 immigrants each year, right? Let's say we owned Colombia. We do own Colombia. Let's say we owned the Galapagos Islands, okay? What happens when you get a lot of immigrants is it seems like they sort of not evenly, but semi-evenly divide over each province, which is just really strange. And you see like 50,000 people in the Galapagos Islands. And it doesn't really make sense, right? Because there's not 50,000 people living there today. You know, I can understand maybe 4,000 like it is now, but why would people be immigrating to this area? They just wouldn't. You know, they just wouldn't. So, I don't know, the life rating should be like 0 here or something. Just discourage almost all immigration except for like one person each year, you know? Something like that would sort of not really fix it, but also at the same time kind of well, no, I don't know. I don't know how to mod things at all. I'm just looking around at immigrants right now. We've got 3% in both those, so let's go back to the biggest state, which is Medellin, and encourage some intellectuals over there. Get that up to 4%, and then we will start encouraging a few soldiers, because we need to go to war soon. I'm itching for a war, although I'm also a bit scared about the prospects. You know, who are we looking at here? We got Peru, which is allied with Spain. I mean, Spain, they've got 42 brigades, and we could field a maximum of 6, including mobilized brigades, so we couldn't really fight that army if they decided to land here. But the naval AI is pretty bad, although I will say, in the other Colombian campaign I did, I had I was at war with Germany, and they brought troops down, like 120,000 troops down, while I was sieging down some nation. I was just like, man, I mean, this is just eons ahead of the UK. They never send down their troops. Although it seems like they do sort of do it. I guess I should never say never like a popular Justin Bieber lyric. Oh, yeah, look, actually they landed troops up here. The UK and France. I Okay, wait. France is at war with the North German Federation, right? But they've got troops over here. Why did they do that? I don't even know. I'm not sure. I'm gonna alt tab here. I'm gonna get a timer for the next time I record. Oh, it's been 34 minutes. Okay. I'm gonna re-tab here, and I think it's time that we end this episode. It's been a pretty good episode, I'd say. Not very eventful. Maybe I should go to speed 5 because this kind of nation, there's not a lot happening, and it's really gonna heat up with wars later in the campaign. But we're getting the groundwork set up. We're just setting up the nation. We got 12% literacy rate. I think that's like a 4% improvement from like 7 years ago, which is when we started this episode. So we're doing okay. Anyways, I've been Raven. This has been Victoria 2 Colombia with the historical project mod enabled. See you next time.